I would like to be able to get down there like we used to, not here, but later ministry, stand down and knit your paw. I can't trust him that way. I just got to tell you, and I might start talk for an hour, and I'd make Reverend Keith angry. But I forgot to check with him. I would like to be presumptuous enough to make give notice, reminding to people that in our church today, that there's one big change, an important one, that we invite people, we're all God's children, and when time comes for Holy Communion, if there's anyone among you who's not an Anglican, if you're a baptized, you're a Christian, you're one of God's children, and if you so desire, you're welcome to come and share it in the altar and to receive the word of life. Well, I want to thank Rector. This is an unexpected pleasure to be here today. We planned ever since December, my friend Dr. Reverend and I come down here, and he's an old family, he was a family doctor, he was our parishioner friend, and I told him, he asked me, what are you going to do this summer? I said, well, I'm going to go down where I started, I'll start. And he said, I'm going to come with you. I said, good. So here we are. And so we got in touch with Reverend Keith, see him go to church. In Mary's time this morning, so we'd go to church. Oh, we went here. I said, better. But then I was hoping he'd invite me to take part. And he ended up by saying, would you like to preach? Oh, yes. I do. It all began here. And being able to commemorate with you your past is a very special thing. And it's, for me, especially, my ministry began here 63 years ago, last month. And so it's such a delight. I came, a young fellow, with lots of enthusiasm. I was going to set the world on fire. Because you're like that when you come out of university, you're in your college, and you want to, you really believe you're going to make a change. And God willing, in my life I've made some, I don't know, change things for good. Only God knows. But all I know is you had the vim that you need and the enthusiasm of you to get out and do. And I got out and did, best of my ability and understanding. And for which I give God thanks. I came with a bit of school, with book learning, of course, for just, in our day, 4 years, which was our training time. But I was green. I knew nothing about ministry. And I certainly did have any experience in growing up being in a parish where I got to get here, and I didn't know until I got here. Matter of fact, I only knew about half an hour before I got off the old SS Springdale I was coming to a little island. Someone told me it's an island. I said, is it? Yes. And then we had to drop anchor and wait. You couldn't get in the harbour. Well, that was another surprise. And then when I got here, I soon learned. Well, I was going down 100 miles over in truck from Henley Harbour to Sea Islands. Well, I don't know, going down the days, you're probably 150 miles. I don't know. And all the 15 or 16 places, you might go to 2 or 3 families there. But you got to preach, you got to teach, you got to try to be, minister. So it's kind of overwhelming. I did not want to do it, but I was going to learn by grace of God. So that was what I was looking at. And I can see myself now coming down, getting off the boat, after, sitting on the mailboxes coming ashore, and getting up, coming ashore there behind the Edward Put's house, I believe, and walking up the trail, 2 suitcases, and, all my worldly goods in them 2 suitcases. I said, look, the truth of it. A few articles of clothing, and a few books, and that was precious. And off I started. And I believe it was ministry began in April Now, even before I could get the first Sunday service here, I got word that the call was on its way from St. Anthony, and there was a young man, 21 years of age, died from Square Islands, and I was expected and invited to go down to the funeral. Okay, so I jumped on the car. I get the clothes together, I jumped on and go to Square Islands for my first service in the parish. I was the funeral. So it was a very sad thing. But I want to tell you that by coming here, I learned things that enriched my whole ministry. And they say I had a very, with I had a wonderful wife, and she was a great support. She did more. I always say she worked harder than I did more. And the women's work from here to Vancouver. She was involved with the National Church Women and everything in between. But I tell you, I learned things that was, you know, my own ministry was part of me. I was reached by it. That is why it's such a delight to be coming here with you. Now, you heard the readings. Now, I have to tell you in the beginning, I'm not going to preach on those readings today. I understood. I didn't ask the Reverend, per se, anything, but I assume a commemoration service means you're looking back at the past and in a parish life with particular importance and pride and thanksgiving to those men and women who in their life and examples, the teaching, and people you knew, people sometimes you already knew it all, but they did things and helped make you what you are today. And now we say, we thank God for them, because they help determine what we have become. That's how I understand it. And I share with you in that act of thanksgiving. And the second thing is dedication, or rededication to what it's all about, the real essence of life. And I won't have much time to talk about you about that, but I'll say something, a little tiny bit, in due course. So what I want to do, I have a theme, and my theme is simply this, you know, remember, and I want to remember people, names of people in some instances. I might have asked some of you, who am I talking about? But remembering what they did, I know, for Jim Reid, and also for the parish, we call it the mission of Harbour. Well, as I said, my ministry started with that little shop. So we went down to Square Islands. Well, I can't even remember now if there was one room school do a service or we're not. I'm not sure, certain. And I discovered that the boy who died was Mr. and Mrs. Kipnock's son, Kippenhook. That's who will be looking after me all the time I was here. I stayed with them. So we had the service, but then first thing, we'll get in the boat. Go up Charlottetown, where the cemetery was. So you sit beside the court chair for a couple hours, I don't know how long. And the sun was shining, I know that. It was a beautiful day. But by the time you get up there and do all you did get back, well, it was dark. Well then, the question for me was, God, I'm back home now, and I'm on the way. I want to get back home, get started. But how do I get back to Battle Harbour? Well, sir, the Northern Range will be coming maybe tomorrow, maybe next day. Down shore, you get right back on it. Okay. Well, so that was the beginning of learning that when you come to the Labrador, like many places still do from that in the early years of my ministry, you had a general plan. But like, you know, the folks along the road, the best laid plans of mice and men to go off the ride. And you decided Mother Nature decided if you were going to get or not. The weather, you had no control over the weather. No man did. So sometimes you just waved it, and you waved it. And so that was the first thing I learned, was try to be patient. And I was an impatient young man. I've been a slow learner all my life, quite honestly, that area. I don't know if I've learned it yet, entirely. And, but at any time, what was it? Square Islands at that time had, I don't know, probably 10, 12 dozen houses, and there's people, I know there was not very many, very few. And I know, and some of them were, there's two, and then at that time, I know the Pentecostal church was beginning to get started. Ben Powell was there, he was starting to bring Charlottetown into existence. And there's two or three people, I know there's one old fellow over there, Mr. Campbell, I think they came from Scotland, I think he was Scotch Presbyterian starting off. But I decided, well, boy, you got to do something to justify your existence. So I decided to go knocking on doors. And talk, you know, I pray ministry is people. And you know, that was the beginning of ministry for me. I don't care what the religion was, I didn't know. But I visited them. And I did where the learning began. Because that became, I think you can ask Dr. Dubbin, he'll tell you that. Gander was a big parish, I tell you. And over the years, here in other parishes, I think literally I knocked on thousands of doors. I saw that as an important part of my ministry, even though I reached a point where there was other administration and meetings all over creation. But there's always had to be a time for visiting and talking to people on one-on-one. Because that's where life, that's where the essence our faith is built on, I believe, relationships. Well, so I learned about having the patient, and I learned the importance. But looking at the people, this is what I learned my first experience with their generosity, their kindness, and hospitality. Because I've been around to those places, and it happens over the next 3 or 4 years, whatever it was, summer and winter, long team travel this winter, boats in summer. But come in, sir. And very long, I'd like to have a cup of tea. Okay. And you went to a place in houses, they often didn't have much. In some of those places down the shore, they went. But you got there by April month after a long winter, I can tell you, there were times you could get storm-bound and there wasn't too much around the table. But it was always, what we got, so you're welcome to. So and in some places you sleep in bed on the kitchen floor, and the bed you got in the morning, and I won't pursue it, but anyway, you can call your hand, and you go and beat in a spot in the snow. You stick your hand in case the dogs are coming. So that was part of the learning experience. Yes, right? But you forget. But I just want to, so anyway, I want to be able to share a few things with you, which will expand upon, in some degree, these experiences. And I hope that I see Jesus Christ at work, and the Spirit of God at work in it, and I hope you will too. Because it's not about Jim Reid, don't misunderstand me. We're talking about the Spirit of God at work in us, and through us. So, the first thing, I guess, I want to vote. That's that very first time I stayed in Square Islands. I had to wait a couple of days. I know how long I waited now. I said, well, you got to vote, Jim. Get around, do your work. You can't depend and expect men to leave their fishing boats. And in the midst of the fishing, can't love you. Now they did that first year, I had no vote, but I had to wait until they could do it. And sometimes I just had to wait an extra day or so. So I leave here to go down the coast. I could have gone 3 weeks before I got back, and the summers are short. So I got the boat arranged for late that fall. Next spring she came down from Flower Stove area, Babe Johnson's been put the engine aboard, got going, and I went up to the bay, got it. She didn't work really good. And the engine was a Norwegian, I think called Kelvin, 15 horsepower, I know, a spark plug engine, and I picked that in. I figured she could work. So they put her together, and the boat, and I got her up to Mary's Harbour, and you and Aiken was in your boats, no engines, so you got her tuned from a point to and out, so I was ready to go, and I waited. Well, but next summer, or next spring, well that fall, then I took up the day, and for securing the winter, late fall. Well then early next spring, we got fit before you could go back over here, with Joe Rumble and John Ackerman. They said, well, we placed deck her over, sir. Yes, why, wonderful. So I don't know where we got the money. I don't know, maybe I got somebody who's sitting down in St. John's, I suspect. And maybe there's nobody, no cost. I can't remember giving the boys the money to do the job, quite honest, sir. And anyway, they decked her over, and I was in paradise. That's the honest truth. It was wonderful. I haven't got time to tell you all the wonderful experiences I had. Some of them were good, some were crazy. You're interested. But one of the important things for me having a boat, I believed that if I had a boat, I could traditionally, tourism has made 2 visits down north in the summer, but only 1 in the winter and dog team. Well, I never had much control over the winter, but I pretty winter and summers, I could do something with that. I wanted to go do 3, at least. And I did. And around the area, well, I could do more than that, of course, you see. And so I haven't got time to tell you very many, but I just mentioned one of those down the north. It stands out because of what happened. I went down in the fall, and now, you have to change on sea lights. Well, it's sea lights. When I got there, I was in the mission in those days. I made a couple trips down the battle, stopped on to do a service for Reverend Harbour. I don't know if it was much for harm, it was my own enjoyment. But when I got there, this family, I think his name was Ed, but not certain. Hopkins, was any Hopkins there? Okay, thank you. can't remember who's, let me go. And his wife was sick, and she was in bed. She needed a doctor. And the men had their ship, they had their little boats all up for the winter, you know, secured. And they didn't know where communications were like in those days, where they know the boat was on its way, they didn't know where. But I don't know, that would have been it was what they call women's troubles, losing blood, I don't know. I didn't know. He can tell you more about that, I know. But she needed a doctor. Well, I said, sure, I've got a nice boat here. I can take you a car, you know, if you want to. But somebody got to go up and show me the way. Okay, so they stowed her boat, got her down to a little cubby, you know, because there was a stove in it. It was nice. And we went on. So anyway, it must have been 10 or 11 o'clock at night, or 9 or 10 anyway. I know we were steaming in Sandwich Bay, it seemed like we're hours into there. And it had to come up and show us the way across the harbour. So, and by the time we got over to the wharf alongside the hospital, my God, people were coming around shore. You know, and there was one fellow man, I know a little bit, some of you might remember, no, you not much, forget you, not but your parents would remember, he used to come here sometimes, Roy Rousseau, welfare officer, they called it in those days. And when the crowd came to see what was going on, I suppose there was a little engine, a little boat going that hour here. He looks at me and says, what in the name of God are you doing down there this time of your that thing? I said, how are you going to stay tonight? I said, I don't know, I got a cabin's next there, not likely. So I had to come and rest a couple of days, and back okay. But I felt, you know, I didn't know that until next winter, and the woman got along, everything worked out fine. You know, but I felt justified in making that, because people told me around here, some of them, especially Stan, perhaps Stan was, you know, that's happening on time. Stan was not a brave fellow around boats, that was his life. He was up at the Marconi station. He shared a rectory with me. He owned one after, he was boarded. I don't know that worked out. The church and the rate that were our diocese. I never saw any money. And by the way, I don't think he had to pay me rent. I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, Stan thought I was kind of foolish too. But now he wouldn't die, you know. But he let me know he didn't think it very silly. He thought it was silly. But I always did listen well. Well, I'll leave the business for now. And a brief note on wintertime travel. Well, there's nothing exciting about wintertime travel. Dog teams, when I talk about we like from Labrador to some church groups some years ago, to the women's group in St. Thomas's Church of St. John's and the women's group at the Cathedral, because both those churches, you see, they're the women's association who used to raise money to assist those two missions, you see. And I used to be able to phone them, to write them sometimes rather, by some special need, they would help finance something. And that's how, not just me, but the church in those days. And so I talked to them. Top-down team travel. Why, that sounds so exciting, wonderful. But my response to them was quite simple. Well, my darlings, if you had to sit on the back of the car for 4 or 5 hours, look at the rear end of dogs, you wouldn't find it very romantic. I discovered from experience that the way you get along, you survive it. And it's reasonable weather. I went up to Flowers Cove the first fall. The bishop was going to take me out of it, you see, and I didn't want to leave. So I wrote him a letter and said, well, thank you, sir, but I would really like to stay, because I was enjoying it. And he said, okay, on one condition, you got to go up to Flowers Cove and make the communion, because I was only a deacon, and before winter sets in. Well, okay, I'll do that. But it took me 10 days in those days, leave here, go to Flowers Cove, have the communion on Sunday there, get back. I was 10 or 12 days. And when I was there, he took me over to visit the Medical Association doctor. I went around to the hospital to visit the sick with him. And there was a couple of English nurses there, and they took pity on that poor little Newfoundlander, little small fellow going down that rough Labrador in the winter time. And so they gave me a beautiful sleeping bag, oiler sleeping bag, light as a feather. And I lugged that around the parish all the time I was there. But they also gave me a beautiful pair of moccasins made up. Remember those days, the beautiful moccasin skins and the beautiful stuff on the leggings, you know, it looks a pretty picture. And they gave me a name for travel. Well, my God, I could put around like a rabbit. There's lace of feather on you. And that's how I learned that there was a 20-mile trip on dog team. All you folks know that. you ended up probably running 10 of it, and I could run 10. Which reminds me, the first trip to Henley Harbour, I stayed with Evanstone and Murphy, and they all looked after me so well. And next door neighbour was William Henry, his brother. William Henry came in to visit the new parish, see the new parish, and sized him up. Looked at me. Oh, he said, "Parson, we're going to lick you." "Yes." "Oh, yes," he said. "You're only small, look. You won't be hard to look around on the dog team." But again, another time I went down there, and they were up Pitt's Arm, I went into the next trip in the boat. And William Henry comes along, "Well, Parson, how long will you stay there?" "Why not?" I said, "William Henry, I put another 2 days, just why you stay home." I probably end up staying a weekend, because you admit, and there's one of the places where you go, everybody expected to visit, and you did, and probably most of them there was there'd be occasions say, "Why don't you still have a cup of tea now, sir?" "Okay." So a place where you share a meal with almost everybody. There's a few old people you come here into when they got police and so on. And but again, the hospitality was absolutely astounding. That always stood with. But it was a real ministry. They didn't see it that way, and I didn't have the brains to recognize it. I did it. At that time, I was grateful to them, and I'll tell you, there was never a cent change. There was never an exchange of money. That was their thing, and I call it. Looking back on that, when I got into the place, got some maturity, and I talked about my experience there, and I said it was an essential service. But they would have laughed at me why I ever suggested that what they were doing was a ministry. It was. This parish could not have existed. No clergyman could have done anything here. Anything worthwhile. With that goodwill and the input those individual people had at taking around and getting in there and getting in being a part of their life. I mean, off Stone one time, it would bring me up from him in Pitt's Iron, bitterly cold day, and it was that cold I used to get be on the car, be on his back, and I'd protect myself from the wind blowing on it. But when we got over here to Lodge Bay, he had burned his forehead. He said to me, "Earth's finished, father." He said, "If I know when it's cold as this, we wouldn't have left the day." I said, "No, why?" But he did it. And he was not a teenager at that time, But it was amazing what the things they could do. That's the truth. The last winter I was here, I decided the last winter, I don't know where I am now, quite honestly. I moved from here, I moved from here because obvious reasons. If I stayed on this island, they told me, I learned that I could be here in February 1 and not get out of it. And there were not a lot of people, a couple hundred people on the parish, around, and I wanted ministry. So I said, I'll go up the bay and the board. So I'd get around, and I used to walk from there to have, of course, by Christmas. I used to spend often Christmas, New Year's Eve over in Lodge Bay. I'd walk over there nicely, and I would give it on a Sunday and so on. And then I had a nice crowded Mary's Harbour for a congregation, and if the clergy nice congregation there day. And it's worship. And so these were some of the things. That was basically the reasons I was going. And it was a good. So somewhere along the way, I said, we should have a church up here. We must have got a few. I don't even remember. We must have got a few fellows together. Said, "Yes, we'll go up the bay and cut some logs, sir." And they did. And then in the spring, saw them up. Afraid it was going to be a church. And we had decided the church was going to be up, and not where it is. Not up there. It was going to be up on that hill. We didn't know it. I didn't, then. It seemed like a central place to be. No man's land. Nobody could lay claim to it. And I got pictures. Here this nice evening on the sunset, and there's all the young people, the girls and boys, and Nurse Joan Stedman, and myself. They're loading up the sod and stuff up over the hill where we're going to build a church. But of course, I left that year, and the next, they then decided they built a rectory, which was a good decision because after my time they decided They should make Mary's Harbour headquarters of the parish all year round, which is fine. A good decision, you know. And again, I think it wasn't all hard work. It was, I didn't think anything was that hard work in those days. But there were some fun times. The crowd, I remember, you see, there was three Rumble brothers. There was Bill, Charles, and one more, I can't remember his name. The old man was Charlie. And they used to play checkers. And every once in a while, they'd invite me up for a game of checkers. Now, I never won a game. And I think they used to take great deal like beating that young horse. But it was nice. So then I just tried. There's no programming in those days very much. And I was always conscious of it, younger people. And there must be something you can do, you know, before you start to travel. I remember, so when I was a young man going to finish off school after I spent 3.5 years in Gander during the war, working aircraft, the ferry command, I was a mechanic, went back home, finished my schooling. Then I got involved with the high school youngsters. Somebody put off an old West Southern comedy, another concert that I played called The Really Made Family. So I had a copy of that, I changed some words of that, and got a crowd together with the nurse, Stedman, and Chester Rumble, I think his sister, and there's a girl who worked in the hospital, Claudine Hoy from Casey Charles, who worked in the hospital, Miss Button, the nurse, the chef, or whatever, there, and a few others. I had a really great time. It was cool. Enjoyed it. But anyway, get back some church. I got to tell you about George's Cove. I'll pick on that, and I could tell you some others, but George's Cove, it's sad, Mr. Gladys. It was like some people there. Before I went there, one family, there was a teacher from the Coastal Cove or somewhere. He went up for a Sunday afternoon, Randy, I think they used to call it, going out for dog keeper trip. And when he stayed, the man in the house said, yes, you take the dog over Reid, and he took his three children. You might have heard the story more than I know. And they went out, and he left the care point where he went in, and a few tuckaboys there, and I guess he was calling him to get rid of some water. So he left them and ran around for a bit. And while he was gone, he heard a noise, and the dogs had pounced on the three little children, and they were dead. And I think I can cry with it now. One of the saddest things of my life is visit that woman. And that was 2 or 3 years after it happened. She never smiled. How could she? The loss of 3 children. It was oh my God, I can't hear it now. But anyway, that was just. But now there were other things. But that's not really. I really didn't tell you about that. George's Cove. I think that an old lady, old Mrs. I don't know if she's this or Mrs. but I don't know if she's a spinster or widow. Mrs. Burton. And she had this little house, not a lot of things, and she had a man, his wife, it could be her son, I don't even know that. All I know is I prepared the young man, the man's wife, and two or three teenage children for their confirmation. I got a picture of them all dressed in white, and the confirmation times used to be in those days. But she used to take me almost under her wing when I go there. She was so caring. I came to realize, I taught hospitality down, generosity. I came to realize that every time it was a costly thing for her. The parson was going to come, and she wanted to have something a little bit sincere because, it was pretty hard day. We were in the Confederation 4 years, and I tell you, it was some mean times. And I remember her generosity. But I also remember something else. The first trip there, I think it was either 5 or 6 babies to be baptized. And the first one was only just a few weeks old. But the last one, he was up for 3 years, was 3 years old. Well, he was such a size. I got the father to hold remote of hand. I was afraid I would have left him. But what I remember about all this thing was a learning time for me, that after the service, one of the youngest ones started crying. But then another one started to cry, and joined in. And as they started to cry, I started to get a little louder, and a little louder. And by the way, they were almost all crying. And I was screaming guts out. So that before I was into the service, I was down to cry, I was down to whisper. I lost my voice. I learned the hard way. For future years, when you got a crowd in with them, you got some little ones there, don't try to beat them. Just do your thing. Because the Lord will hear you. That's the important thing about it. He hears you. Reverend got the prayer book, big power words. Oh my. I got one more thing, a personal nature of that. I hope you don't understand it. But I used to have a draw in those days, a cigarette. And I didn't think it was a terrible thing to work. And of course we didn't know this, and that we didn't know then, honestly, we didn't know that smoke was bad for your health or anything like that. Everybody smoked. So I had to prove when I went to Gander, and as soon as I got the first paycheck, I was 15 years and 9 months old. I went to work in Gander. But the van would come down for 10 cents a pack. We provide American cigarettes to the guys on duty at the gun in places around there. Well, I had to prove to the boys I was as good as they were. They're not in the van too. So I was smoking. I never had it. So I apparently making the first trip to George's Cove. I was seen going down the road at a draw. So the next time I went back there, someone said, "You know, sir, the Pentecostal preacher preached about you and what a terrible sinful man you are." Cold cigarettes. Yeah. Oh. I couldn't laugh off. My God, I'm not going to follow for the Pentecostal preacher service. So I took my cigarettes. I threw them away. And I drank my cigarettes. So he might have gone to his reward by this time. And I thank him for it. I'm serious. I thank the good Lord. You know, I might have given up for the wrong reason. I don't know. Pride did this thing. But I'm glad I gave it up. Very happy. No, that's another story. Yeah. Now, what page am I on now? Keith's going to tell me about so I almost finished the game. I have you know, that first year I had that open boat, I didn't know what to do. Even though I grew up in a little village called Harbour, it was called, as a fishing community, whatever. My father did it, even the woodsman. And I used to love to go out the boat, row, go around, go on convoy in the harbour, and I was ferries in summertime, in the cold, getting and skimming it in the water, all those things. But I didn't know anything about the boat, and I learned some of that hard way. You know, I know one time I knocked all over at the Reverend, I run into Fox Harbour, drive her ashore so I could save her. And then put some putty in that inner, and I got back in the harbour after he was arrested. Oh, I don't know. But I got lots of fog sometimes. And from in the spring of the year, I came from just crossed through the Poise, all the kids' showers, and it's foggy, didn't have any compass with me, and I couldn't see coming to a tickle here. I couldn't see the tickle for the frog. So there was a boy, and I some kind of net up that, and tied it on, wait for sun to burn it off, and got into a tickle. So I did lots of things. Boys, people said. I had one serious experience, and that was I was again the open boat, and I was down the shore. That way I went in for my last extra visit, and get anxious to get home, and I left Williams Harbour, and I was coming into the Chubbs's, this side of the stair point for the night. That was the plan, and I did. But I could see there was a storm coming. That was evident, and that night the storm hit, like an old timer. And it was unreal. I think it's famous on this coast. That there's a stormy place at the point. That's Spear Point, isn't it? Northeasters and so on. So, well, that's all right. So, and there's only myself and no man's little ladder. And he used to probably one time I'd be in his bedroom next to, I had a bedroom, and he had this homemade mattress, either down, you know, and this deep, and it was warm. But you see, after you sit down for 2 hours, you wake up and you're almost on a beer boat because you come up around almost in forward. The old man used to worry about me. And they call her by name. Do you think the parson's cold? And she said, no, John. And boy, do you think the parson's cold? No, John. And then we'd go on 3 or 4 times. He'd be worried about the parson be cold in bed. But no, this had nothing to do with stuff. See, I guess. So then, anyway, next day storm. Oh, you couldn't look at it. Whoa. And the third morning, I went for 2 days there, just sitting around there, you know, what do you do? And I felt the need of a bath and all, cleaned up and so on, but next morning, that might have been, that second evening, the wind died back, and it got started, you know. But the next morning, I got up, the sun is shining, so I walked down the big grassy field he had. Oh, I said, I can go home now. So I turned around and go back, and it was almost like he could read my mind. He was coming to Warsden. He said, Skipper, going good for home now. Oh no, Parson, you can't do it. It's too dangerous. Really too dangerous. Well, there's where, you know, there was my stupidity and ignorance. I would listen. And he was too kind. He wouldn't argue with Skipper. He wouldn't argue with it. It wasn't the thing to do. To argue with it. Even though he was a young whippersnapper, by comparison, he wouldn't argue with the clergyman round Colorado. Well, I said, so I ended up saying, well, I tell you, sir, I'll go around the point. And if it's too bad, I'll come back. And very crudgy, well, okay, sir. I found afterwards he was out on the land watching like out of sight. I'm here, so you know I made it. But I went on out, and I just had got outside point. I just got out in it. Oh my God, the waves, you know, they were breaking all around me everywhere. And I'll go a little bit farther, make it get better. But as I went a little farther, instead of getting better, it got worse. And I reached a point, well, I got frightened, you know, got nervous. And I said, oh, I think I'll go back. But then I realized I didn't know how to go back. I didn't know, with the way they were bursting and all foundering, I was afraid if I turned broadside, they founded the board, I was going to lose the boat, and lost the boat, I'd lose Jim. That's no joke. So I said, well, I got to run the board, I got to keep going. So I had to go a bit farther, and I kept going. Well, and I didn't know that I should have slowed back the engine. I had to go full speed. The wave would come, I'd be on the wave, and I would pass it by, and I would go down, down, down. I thought I would be sucked down into the bottom of the ocean. Straight to 4 cents. It's frightening. But I could manage that. But I was seeing them behind me, and they would pounder, whatever you call it. One pound was aboard the boat, I'd be in a minute. And 1 pound was aboard the boat. And slammed me up and hit my little engine house. And the engine, because she was gas, what do you call it, motor with spark plugs. And she started to twist and mist. And there was the water. So I started to pump. And I pumped some water, pumped it up. And that's where I said, oh my God, no one comes in now. And you know, my father, the last thing I did, the day before I went to come down here, I was part of burying my father, who would drown at Lumberwoods in January that year. So I said, my God, what have they found after father? They killed him on it. And I started praying. Not on a serious note, I prayed. And I don't mind telling you, the first prayer was, I said a prayer of confession. I confessed my ignorance and my pride and my lack of, you know, simple common sense that I didn't listen to the wisdom of that old man. I asked God to forgive me. And I prayed he helped me. But then I made another prayer. And on some or other, it wasn't a formal prayer. I ended up by saying, Father, is in your hands. Your will be done. And I'll tell you, my friends, that it's a confession I'm making, I guess. I don't talk about it, but it's a special time. And I believe something happened. Something came over me. And I felt at peace with the world. I felt a sense of peace. And I felt somehow God was with me. And I was doing His work. And I was doing the work He wanted me to do. And running it like Julian Norwich in the 13th century. All will be well. But all will be well. And it was. And I went home. And I never went back. I did foolish things afterwards. I went ashore, coming down from Lodge Bay one time, rocks, and not waiting for the tide to rise. The road. But I never had that experience afterwards. I didn't stop it. I tried to use some common sense, but I was never good at it. But all I know, I want to reaffirm, so many wonderful things in my life, and lasting all my life, started here now. And this place has always had such a warm place in mine. And I don't mind telling you, when I went to see the bishop a couple of days before the day after that, we all had to go over sevens, I think, before many days. And in those days, there was lots of those in ministry, young people. And we were all like, where's the bishop going to send us, I wonder? And I knew there was 2 or 3 vacancies in St. John's was going to make curacies. And I was terribly frightened to death I was going to have it in the city. I didn't feel capable of a city ministry. I hated the thought. And I knew this place was vacant. And I said, too much to open. I wanted to sit away from the crowd. Because I could see this far away. I could be happy down here in little communities like I came from. And when Reid and Bishop Reverend was 6'6", sitting there, ornament glasses, looked at me over his glasses. Reid, you ready for that, Harbour? Yes, my Lord. I was having a laugh. Yeah, and I never ceased to thank God for put that in Bishop Abraham's mind to say, Jim Reid, that Harbour. I learned so much, and faith did so much. It's been with me all my life. Now, I think I would say, I haven't bothered to look at my watch because I was going to say it anyway. Keep talking for 10 minutes. I think you're supposed to do that long a cup of tea and dinner. Now, I'm supposed to talk about rededication. And I'll be sensible. I won't talk about it. I'll make one brief scripture reference. There's a writing from the book of Joshua. It's an alternative reading for today, as a matter of fact. It's very brief, and it's a story. Joshua, they've had 40 years roaming around, the Amorites, the Israelites, the Perizzites, all of them, Middle East days, they fought for 40 years. After they passed the river, crossed the River Jordan, the Red Sea, and before they established themselves in Judea. And in those years, there was starting their marriage, the gods, the Amorites, etc. There was falling away. We all know what people fall away in church. You probably experienced something yourself, sorry. That's the old man is. And I've had that falling away all my life. And so that he challenged them. And he says, you call them together, you have to choose this day whom you will serve. The gods of the Amorites, the Perizzites, etc., or the God of Judea, the God who brought you out of here from the land of Egypt. And he ends by saying, I know who I will serve. Me and my household, we will serve the Lord. And they responded, we too will serve the Lord. So that's all I want to leave you to my children. There's enough there for you to think about for the rest of your day. Serving the Lord. Because that's what you people who live here have inherited. And maybe you were visitors with your background. You didn't become what you are without all those people, good people, who had a quality of life. They lived, generosity. I experienced kindness, caring, people doing things No worry about it. But no sense of personal cause. What I got is yours. We will share it together. And that's what you inherit, the way of life. Now we're coming at a time, it's a changing world. I'm aware of it. My own family, it's not like it used to be. You preach all your life. It's what you got to do. You sow seeds with those around you. And some it will catch. I have no doubt about that. You sow seeds. And we hope we're sowing the kind of seeds of those things that made us what we are. So that another 40 or 50 years from now, your children, grandchildren, whatever, will be here at St. James's Church and saying, thank God for those of the past who what they did and served you, God, and helped us become what we are. And that's all I want to say to you. May God bless you all. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for listening. And may you have a wonderful day today.